everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura and today I planned a new video where we talk about ugly makeup palettes that were like, I don't know, maybe the design was ugly, maybe the inside was ugly, packaging was ugly, anything. Like I've seen some YouTubers already talk about that, and I was really inspired when I was on a beauty bay sale on the website, and I was like scrolling through and I was like, wow, this is ugly, this is a mess. Anyways, before I started this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I recently also started TikTok, so if you are interested, I showed my Sephora VIP sale there, what I bought, and some other weird stuff. And this makeup I'm wearing today, I made a little TikTok makeup tutorial. Honestly, I'm really new to this, yeah, I'm not that good, but yeah, if you want to check it out, you can check it out. And yes, I will just now stop talking and we start with the first ugly palette. First palette I want to talk about is a person I don't support, but I feel like until this day it's one of his ugliest palettes, and it has been from Jeffree Star, the Bloodless Palette. I just didn't understand the palette. First of all, I don't think, like, it should have been his purple palette. If I understood it right, it was not that purpley at all. Then I hated the packaging. I hated how bulky it was. I hated the form. It's not easy to store something like that. Like, I don't know, I would have needed a whole drawer only for this palette. And I mean, I don't even want to buy it because I don't support him. I hate really the form, the packaging, the outside, that it's velvety. We had that already with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, and I hate the velvet outside so much. It gets so dirty, and I tell you, I had to rebuy the Novena palette because the outside got moldy, and it's because it's so humid in Hong Kong, and I'm really trying to store it like in a dry and cool place, but it got moldy. So I hate the velvety thing too. Just such an unhandy palette. The color story was not good, it was not on theme. I really didn't understand this palette. I mean, he had always weird shapes. He had also the Alien palette, which was horrible to store because it had like, I feel like the eyes of the alien were like coming out, and you could not like kind of store it right. A lot of YouTubers were like complaining about that. And in general, he has always such a bulky packaging, and I'm not here for it. Like, I like sleek, thin packaging I can store easily, and I like color stories and the theme that makes sense. So that was just like not good. Yeah, we don't need this. The next thing I saw on Beauty Bay, and I was so shocked. First of all, I didn't even know this came out. So this is from Florence by Mills, and she brought out an eyeshadow palette, 16 Wishes. I feel like it's now out of stock. Back then when I looked at it, I guess it was on sale on Beauty Bay. I couldn't find it anymore on their website, I'm not sure. And first of all, I never heard about that she brought out eyeshadow palettes. I heard about the face products and stuff, but I've never seen anybody talking about this eyeshadow palette, which was really weird. I don't have anything against Bobbi Millie Brown. I just don't care. I feel like I'm too old to care about her. I mean, she's a nice girl, I guess. And yes, what should I say about this palette? This palette is like so frustrating to look at. Those are two palettes. One is more on the neutral side, and then you have a palette split in two, and it's colorful, and I don't get why they split the other palette in two, which I guess they wanted to make one side more warm and the other side more bluish green, but it makes no sense. How do I store this? How does it go together? Does this even connect together? Why you cut this palette in half? I don't understand. What's the purpose? Like, what, you want me to sit there with two halves of my palettes? And so I hate that they cut this, because first of all, we are missing now one shade or two shades. We're missing then one shade, but the same goes for the neutral palette. Like, I feel like because they put the glitters in the middle, we are missing one shade. I mean, the palette is not big, right? It should be a 9-pan palette. Like, that's perfectly fine. I like that. It's not too big. It's a perfect size. And then, but you put those two shimmers in the middle, and then you're missing out. I feel like I feel like you robbed me one shimmer shade I should get in this palette. I don't understand why it's cut through though. Should it be edgy? What's the purpose? I don't understand. Please somebody tell me, what is this about? Why is it cut in two? I don't understand. I really don't understand. I would never buy that. And when they put it together, you can see how much space they wasted, and this makes me go crazy. It makes me go crazy. No. I don't understand. But anyways, we're moving on. I ranted already too long about this, and I don't want to be too negative. By the way, if I talk about palettes, I have never used them, so I can never talk about the quality of those palettes. But then I have to talk about this. Like, I saw this on the Beauty Bay sale, and I know this is a fashion designer. It's Anna Sui. I hope I say that right. If not, please let me know down in the comments. But her eyeshadow palettes were on sale, and I think they're so ugly. I don't understand those aesthetics. I looked at the brand, and really those aesthetics are really not for me. Like, the worst thing, like the palettes I saw were those little trio palettes, and they had the spongy thing in the palette, you know, the spongy applicator. I don't know about the quality. Maybe the eyeshadows are amazing, but it looks so ugly. I don't understand the packaging. It's like me, 14-year-old me, trying to be edgy. Like, it looks really ugly. I'm just really not the audience for this. Like, I was like, ew, I understand why this is on sale. Who would buy this? And I feel like they are also kind of pricey. So no, I really don't like them. I saw them, I was like, ah. And sometimes the color stories are really weird too. It's like nothing I would be ever able to work with, like yellow, purple, blue. What do I do with those colors? Like, so weird. The next eyeshadow palette, I feel kind of insulted. It's from NYX, and it's that Tetris palette, and this is like a disaster. Like, this palette is truly a disaster, and I don't know what NYX is doing, because I feel like they really missed an opportunity to make a good palette. Like, I feel like a lot of 90s people know Tetris, and I would probably bought it, but it makes absolutely no sense what they did inside the palette. The packaging is also not that cool. It's so huge. Nobody needs that much eyeshadow. I don't understand. I thought like we are over the big eyeshadow trend. Like, really, who needs 100 eyeshadows jumbled together? It makes absolutely no sense. You can't tell me there's a color story. You can't tell me there's a color story. Just all messed up. 5 million shades of browns, then a little bit of purple, a little bit of red, a little bit of green. Weird. And then they tried to make like those little Tetris blocks, how they call, I don't know, you know which comes down, but it makes no sense because you just jumbled weird colors together. It would have been much more, like, for me it would have made more sense if you have, like, for example, one of the blocks you make more blue, so you make it look like in the palette, like there is the blue block, and then you have different kinds of blue. The other one is like red, and then you make like those little blocks thing here, the eyeshadows all in different red tones, different shimmers, different textures. Something like that would have been much more, like, I would have understood it. But this doesn't make any sense. Like, they just circled out like the blocks, the Tetris blocks, and called it a day. Just threw in all the eyeshadows they had ever made, and then they just made like the little block thing, and yeah, we're selling this now. The only block I think like they made right is the one with the white and the black one. This is exactly what I was saying. Like, just make it a theme, that every block has like a color theme, like a blue one, the black and white one, then you have a red one, a purple one, and then in between mix some matching colors. So kind of like a more cohesive palette, but this is just weird. It's just weird. Don't get me wrong, if you bought this, I'm sorry, but I feel like this is so weird and so unnecessary. So many palettes, you didn't have to make it that big. Like, really not. The only good release I've ever seen from House Lab was their eyeshadow, no, not eyeshadow pencil, the eyebrow pencil. Other than that, there was nothing groundbreaking, and that's really weird because it's a Lady Gaga brand. But anyways, we're talking about the eyeshadow palette, and I was so shocked by the Stupid Love palette by Lady Gaga. Can we talk about this again? Like, first of all, I had never seen anybody talk about this on YouTube. I don't know about the quality, as I said before, never tried it, but this palette looked so cheap. So so cheap. Like, I don't know, this packaging with the blue, everything, it looks so cheap. It really reminds me of those Kylie brushes. You guys remember when Kylie wanted to sell us a $300 US brushes set? And they had that really weird silver packaging too. It's kind of like the same. It gives me such cheap vibes. And you know, I'm not really that into blue, but I'm trying to use a little bit more blue recently. But it's just, and I don't know, even the pictures she kind of like posted, which should promote the eyeshadow palette, like where she uses the eyeshadows, they look weird. And it's so bad because I really like Lady Gaga. I like that she's kind of like over the top crazy and stuff, but her eyeshadows and her whole brand is kind of like meh, boring. And this palette in particular was really ugly, and I know she had another one and I already forgot about it because it was so boring. So I'm confused with this. But this eyeshadow palette, yeah, was really weird. I didn't like the packaging. The color story made a little bit more sense, but it was just like was just not a good palette. It was kind of ugly, right? Am I right? Yes, and that has been it. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel so we can grow. And then, yeah, maybe leave a like or a comment if you want to. Leave me a comment which palette you think is ugly. Maybe I put it into another video of mine. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon in another video of mine. And bye-bye!